Ricardo.
What's going on? What you doing?
Well, I'm working on an old Bally MCR cocktail table. It's currently a 1942, but originally it was a Satan's Hollow.
Yeah.
And wait till you see inside this thing. It's really in great shape. Problem I'm having is I'm getting AC ripple over my DC power supply.
Oh.
And I think the problem's in one of the rectifiers in the transformer assembly in the bottom. This is an MCR power supply right here. This takes unregulated DC voltage and it regulates it down to your +5 and +12. And then you've got some level controls here and some fusing, and it's got your battery for your memory backup for the games that had memory backup.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So that's kind of what we're gonna work on here today.
Well, sure, let's go ahead and do it, and do it here on Diesel Arcade.
Yeah.
All right, join us.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to turn this machine on here and just kind of show you the symptom we're having.
Oh my God.
There you go, yeah. That does not sound good.
That is one loud.
I'll wait till the screen comes up here. Yeah, so you have like...
So you got a lot of garbage going on.
You have kind of that choppy screen with garbage on there. Yeah. That's kind of symptoms of AC coming over the DC line. So let's take a look at it on our voltmeter and see what that looks like.
All right.
And here you've got your MCR power supply. There's your transformer assembly, and then your motherboard right there. So I'm just going to take my meter, put that on volts DC. I'm going to go over to AC here, see if I'm getting any AC voltage. .9 volts AC.
So it's going both.
Yeah, so you have both here. Let's look at, this gives me my hertz range. .120 hertz.
And now when you're testing it on the board, right?
Yeah, there I'm going directly on one of the ICs.
Okay.
Right there. To check that.
Alright.
So let's check this off.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Alright, so this MCR system, it does a unregulated DC that goes into the power supply board here off of the transformer assembly. And what we're going to do with this cabinet is convert it back to a Satan's Hollow. It's serial number 342, and the cabinet's in good shape. It needs to be refaced and cleaned up a lot. And all the original wiring harness is still here. They just hacked the main harness here and hooked on. This isn't even a JAMA. It's a 1942, but it's not a JAMA, so it's probably a parallel board.
Right.
It's got good transformer assembly. It's got everything here, and I've managed to collect the control panels and the motherboard for it, so we can do a full restoration.
Yeah, all right.
So let's see if we can figure out where our DC inputs coming in.
Well,
to
let me
this.
go ahead and put this on the stand.
Yeah, put that on the tripod.
All right. Give me one
And I'm
second.
going to locate these inputs here.
Cool.
How do you get these little connectors off here? I have to get a screwdriver to pry that.
I'll take them out.
Yeah. Let's see here. Move it. This is the output section here. What I want to get to is the input down at the bottom of the board here. Boy, these have been in here for a while, I guess. I got one. Two. With this in here now. This transformer assembly has it's a metal shield that goes over it. I've got that removed right now. But you can see why people always just remove those shields, because you can't get to anything very easily here.
Yeah.
Alright, so here I've got, make sure I'm not going to short anything out here. These are all my inputs from the transformer. We'll figure out what's what and see what we're getting. I'm going to put something down there to insulate the back of that board. We're going to turn it on. There you go. On my power. Probably won't have that horrible hum. There we go. Let's see here. So I'm gonna look for they don't give me color codes here. J3, 5. It's a 9-pin connector. Looks like okay. Gotta find my ground. Fused, okay, fuse side, that's positive. Yeah. There's 8.81 volts. I want to look at the AC range on there. Okay, 1.51 volts AC.
Oh, wow.
Coming in on that. I bet you, yeah, it's our 120 hertz. So that kind of tells me my suspicion is right. It's,
So it is coming from the bottom.
it's one of these rectifiers on that transformer assembly.
Yeah.
We're having trouble there. We'll check those capacitors too once we get that pulled out. So, I don't know if you can see this diagram here, but basically you've got transformer, primary, secondary. There's some fuses in there, and then you have these rectifiers, and then that feeds into our connectors. There are two caps here, 100,000 microfarads, 15 volts, 55,000 at 25 volts. We'll test those too, of course, and make sure that they're okay to match up these rectifiers there. So stay tuned. Alright, so I just wanted to show you guys real quick some of the stuff I've been collecting since I figured out this was a Satan's Hollow. I've got a nice Satan's Hollow motherboard. It's a 3-layer board, and I've been collecting some of the connectors that I'm going to need. And then from our friend Danger Dan, he had these nice little, you never see these anywhere, the Satan's Hollow cocktail control panels.
That is very
complete.
interesting.
You've got it's just a 2-way joystick and a button, but it's got this special little trigger here.
Yeah.
And that is just really hard to find. They use this kind of thing on the Tron cocktail table, and I think there was one other that had a button. And I was considering using some of the newer modern ones with the thumb button, but to have the original ones, that's really neat. Of course, it's completely different from the stand-up, which is really kind of a Tron joystick, but it's red instead of blue, or a Gorf was black. And then it's got, on the one-player side, it's got the 2 start buttons. So that's one thing we're going to be changing. The panels on there are Satan's Hollow panels, but they've been hacked up for 1942. Then the other thing, I could not figure out what this machine was. I had some theories until I pulled the glass off. So we'll probably do this right now. I'll flip my glass over and we'll put this under right side up. Got about 5 or 6 of these MCR power supplies. This one's okay.
That was okay?
Yeah, it hit the heat sink.
I was like, oh my god!
That's, that MCR power supply's got the plus and minus sense circuit like Atari used.
Right.
So it sends the voltage through the motherboard, then there's a return line. So it kind of has a way of regulating that until all the connections get resistance built up, and then it fries the whole system.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah. It's a good idea in theory, if you were in a perfect world, you know. All right, let's not break the glass.
Oh yeah.
So I'll probably replace this glass. This is.
And I have some scratches on it and everything, so.
I've got a place that can do these with the beveled edge.
Yeah.
And the nice tempered glass for 65.
Oh, that's not bad.
$65. Yeah, it's not bad at all. It's a regular old school glass place. So, all right. Flip this over. And then
Well, I'm actually glad that
I'm kind of glad they did it this way.
Right, that's what I was gonna say.
They flipped it over and painted it. So here you've got your.
Satan's Hollow right there.
It's not in the best shape, but I think they've got. I've seen a new one once in a while on eBay, you know.
Right. But hey, you know.
But I flipped that over and like, oh, now I know what this game is. So. Put that back on there. All right, so stay with us, and we're going to get that power supply transformer assembly out of the bottom, and we'll go through that and get that power problem taken care of in this episode. We'll get, hopefully the 1942 board's still good. We'll get a playable game here. Then we'll go and start converting it over to what it originally was.
What it is. All right.
So, all right, stay tuned. Oh, hey, buddy. Yeah, you're here to help? You're here to help? All right, all right. I'm going to put you down. Hey, we've got our Satan's Hollow transformer assembly pulled out. This thing is, oh, pretty heavy. I'm going to take this apart and do some tests on these rectifiers and see if we can find what our problem is. It's a pretty heavy-duty assembly here. The rectifier diodes underneath, they are rated at 12 amps. So it's got a pretty hefty output. Alright, take this bottom off here. Oh wow, okay. Alright, so I'll give you a close-up of the camera in a second here. You can see the bottom here, we've got transformer, we've got some a terminal strip here, and the fuses, another transformer, our caps, and then these are our rectifiers here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect these capacitor terminals here so I can test these rectifiers on my meter. It'd be just nice to have one end out of the circuit. That capacitor is going to interfere with. Let's see, I want to do this side over here. I'm doing the negative side on this side and positive on the other. Okay, so that's all clear there. Now I'm going to take my meter. I'm going to set this on my diode test. Let me give you a little better close-up of the camera here. Okay. So let's see here. I'm going to go to my diode test. I'll just start checking these here. So I'm getting nothing through that direction. I should get about a half volt this other direction. Yeah, 0.499. Do this next one here. 0.521. Do the other way. Nothing. Okay, that's good. So far, so good. Okay, that's good. 0.5. Well, 3 out of 4 are good. let's check this last one here. 0.521. And nothing. Okay, so that one's good too. Let me check this one again here. Nothing. Okay. So I'm gonna have to start looking at my capacitors here as a potential problem. All right. So I pulled out my DC power supply here to try to charge up these big caps here. This one's 100,000 microfarads. This one's 55,000. The 55,000 is in the 12-volt DC circuit, and the 100,000 is in the +5 circuit. My cap tester only goes up to 30,000 microfarads, so I can't check either of these. But when I was a kid, we used to play with these things. We'd charge them with a 9-volt battery, and then have fun like watching them spark as they discharge. So I know if the cap's good, it's gonna take a charge and kind of hold some kind of a charge. So let me throw this on here, and we'll see. Set that to volts DC. We'll see what we can get here. Turn this down. Probably to about close to 12 volts there. Now we'll do this one here first. Let me make sure I've got my polarity right. Negative and positive. This has got a little bit of a burned and charred right there. Sucker, I don't know. We'll see. I might have to replace both of these. Okay. I saw it spark a little bit. So I'm going to take my meter, see what kind of charge it held. Ah! Look at that. It's holding 12 volts. So it's slowly decreasing, so that might be okay. Now we'll try this other cap here. My negative is on the inside. You see, it didn't take very long for me to have that supply on there for it to charge up. I'm not getting any spark. Oh, my lead came up. No spark there. Let it charge for a second. Pull that off. And see if we're holding that 12 volts. Oh yeah, that's low. 3.1, and it's dropping fast, so it's not holding that charge as well. So I'm gonna say I probably need to replace this 100,000 microfarad cap. I'm gonna go ahead and probably do both caps, just because of the age. We'll see if our other one's still holding that 12. Oh yeah, 11.67. So that's in pretty good shape. You know what I could do? I wonder if I could swap these caps to test my 5 volts. Or I could look around and see if I have another spare cap sitting around here. Let's see here. I'll try that. Let me look first at the schematic here. They give me any other info on these caps. There we go. 100,000 at 15 volt DC, for the 5-volt circuit, 55,000 at 25 volt DC for the 12, and that's 16 to 20 volts unregulated. The 5 is 8 to 10 volts unregulated. All right, let's see what I have. All right, so let's see here. I found an old Tato power supply here. I think this is like from a jungle hunt or something like that. It's got a cap on here, 50,000 at 25 volts. I'm good on my voltage rating, but this is half the microfarads is what I need. I'm going to test this out here and see if this holds a charge. And then I might substitute it for my 100,000 if it behaves well. And then later, when I get a chance to go down to the surplus store, I can pick up a couple of good ones. They aren't too bad price-wise if you go to if you have a good surplus store in your area. They can be a little pricey if you buy them off the internet, especially if they're specifically, you know, the Atari Big Blues. Those can be pricey. Let's see, so I've got negative and positive. Negative. Definitely gave me a spark there. Let's see what I have voltage wise. DC volt range. Oh yeah, it's holding 12 volts really well. So I think I'm going to throw this undersized cap in there just to test my theory out, and we'll see how that works. There's a difference between caps in that the original has lugs, and this one has screws. Pop these ties off of here. Again, my nibblers don't go like enough. There we go. Ancient wire ties. So this is some. Okay, so I'm going to reattach everything on the 12 volt side here so I don't mix up wires or anything. Short out these terminals with my hand and give me a really good zap. When these suckers are fully charged and you discharge them Even with a piece of metal, it'll melt the metal. Snug that up. Okay. Then the other side here. There's a lot of leads here. Hopefully I can get everything to fit on. Where's this strap? There's a band here that's got to loosen up. Sucker's on there pretty tight. There we go. Get a different screwdriver. Loosen the base a little bit here too. There. Okay. $85. Let's see if this will fit in. It's a little thicker diameter, but I think I can make it fit. Let me get that orientation correct here. Positive on the left and a negative on the right. Can't really see what's what. Okay, there's my positive. Arr. Man. These are really short screws. Are these just studs that'll come out? I wonder. million. So these are little studs screwed into the top of the cap. That is really cool. I never knew that. And it's a hex. It's a hex on the other end. I'm going to get my torque set so I can do that. That is really cool. Let's see. Ah, yeah. T8 Torx fits it perfectly. Get that stud right out of there. I've never seen this before. Man, that's a long stud. Just screw that right into the new cap. That'll make life a lot easier. Okay, that one's good. I was worried there for a minute that I wouldn't be able to get all these leads on here. Okay. Now, positive side, negative side. Fit on there. Got this little resistor that goes across there. Okay, that's everything on. Well, keep your fingers crossed. I don't know if our 1942 game board's any good. Let's see how well this works. I'd prefer to have the correct size capacitor. Down. Now that I've got these in circuit, there shouldn't be any charge on these caps anymore. There might be. I'm not gonna worry about it. Okay. Let's bolt this back together. And, we'll put this back in the machine and see what happens. Stay tuned. All right, so I've got this transformer assembly put back in here, and we're going to plug this on, check our voltages out, and see if there's any improvement. Let's see here. Oh, okay. 5.1 volts DC. Let's check for AC volts. Nothing. No AC. Oh, Hobby Dog. Our 1942 is working. Alright, so I think that takes care of it for this power supply here. I'm going to go ahead and replace both of those big caps with the correct size, and then we'll check the regular MCR power supply board and see if that needs any work. But stay tuned. Next episode, we'll start converting this this nice old game back into a Satan's Hollow. For this old arcade, I'm Tim. Thanks for joining us. Are you still there? This is actually a fun game, even if you're playing it on the side.